ain't got no mental ball. I'm like, yeah, dude, fucking K-Rock. Let's go to the beach. You're like, oh, wait, it's snowing.
That's my boss, Kevin. He's probably 3 years younger than I am.
Really?
Yeah.
And he hasn't been your boss the whole time, though.
He's been my boss for about 17 years. Yeah.
Program directors in radio are notoriously fucking apes that know nothing.
Yes.
And they make you play like, hey, no, this is Blake Shelton's brother. Make sure you play this every 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have the other bacon and Frank Stallone. It's gonna be good. But for some reason, your 30 songs that you play constantly are songs that I like.
Not
and it
all
seems
of them.
like no, there's some I just don't, because there's always new bands that I'm like, this is any new stuff to me. There's no way of going about it.
Right.
Except for like the Black Keys, I dig Mumford and Sons and stuff. But there's always like I don't mind hearing like Jane's Addiction.
Me either.
And like I keep saying No Doubt only because I know they're Long Beach, and like Sublime with Rome and all this stuff. Like you play a little too much Coldplay. But that's not you. That's a program director.
It is, yeah.
There's a piece. Well, people don't understand listening.
There's a music director, too.
There's a piece of paper every day. Well, now it's a computer screen. And it's literally at 8:05, you're playing this.
Yes.
At 8, and then you're doing 3 songs, and then Jay Mohr comes in, and you interview him.
Yep.
And then there's these 6 songs in a row.
Well, no, on our show, we play 1 song at a time. We play 4 songs an hour, 1 song at a time, and then we break and talk and play 1 song.
But what if you just
When you're in, we drop songs because there's too much talking.
In a good way.
Yes. But then we always hear, hey, you dropped a song. Why? Well, we're running late. We have a clock that we're supposed to stick to, and we just never do.
What if you... Hold on a second.
Jay's trying to close the door so his alarm won't go off.
What if you, Kevin, just say, I like Bad Brains, and I want to play Reignition by Bad Brains in the middle of the day? You can't.
I could, but
you don't want to hear it. At the end of the day.
No,
like
it's
the old
not.
Chris Rock joke. At the end of the day, we just don't want to hear it.
Right. We could get away with it and on our show more than the rest of the day parts, because we talk and we can say why we're playing something or whatever. But overall, we have to sort of follow what they want us to follow.
It seems weird to me that radio stations don't ever allow leeway.
It's way too corporate for that now.
Like if you're having a hip-hop conversation, like to me...
Well, we do. If we have a guest in where it makes sense, it's an artist or somebody, we'll play a song by them.
A hip-hop artist?
Sure.
I always picture a guy...
Like we're supposed to have RZA in soon.
I picture a guy painting with his hat on backwards, a hip-hop artist. RZA's great, but you're not going to play, Liquid Swords when RZA's on.
No, but we'll play his song.
Because that's Jizza. I just realized my error, and I apologize to all the Warriors out there. Warrior.
But we will play his song with who he just did a song
it's
with.
Horrible.
It's not horrible. It's
him and the Black Keys.
It's called
right?
with the Black Keys. That's
terrible.
a great. Are you crazy?
No, I'm not.
That's a great song.
Actually, I'm a little crazy. Because they say if you don't say you're crazy, then you know you're crazy. So I'm like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you know what? I am a little crazy. Now onward. But like you guys in the middle of the day, you can't just play Gangstar.
No.
Without having to run it up a flagpole and say, we just think every once in a while people on the 405 in traffic would like a curveball and just hear Old Dirty Bastard, shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, 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 yeah. Because I got news for you. Your listeners would like that. You know that.
I agree.
But
it's not worth it.
It's such a corporate, bureaucratic clusterfuck. Radio in general, not your show. And your show is the free running one.
We try our best to shield it from all of the corporate BS, but there's a lot of it.
Why can't you just play? I mean, I'm talking a song.
We could.
You're about to quit. You're like, you know what? Fuck this job. I'm going to go and answer phones at somewhere else.
No, you could. It's just, we've just given up on that. We just go, you know what? We have our time. We need to make our part interesting. And we'll let somebody else program the music.
Yeah, you guys talk a lot, and it's always funny. And then Ralph will come in, and Ralph does Showbiz Beat, which is great. And then Psycho Mike will do things here and there. So you guys are the anomaly where you guys, it's content driven. It's not song driven. So I guess if I'm going to ask a radio guy, you are a radio guy, Kevin from Kevin and Bean, at the Kevin Ryder. I guess it's like if you're just the guy going, all right, it's the overnight, Jay Mohr of the overnight. All right, thanks for joining. When you're just that guy, like I would think you'd kill yourself
Yeah.
if you couldn't just play something you wanted to hear once in a while, but they can't, can they?
No, they can't.
That's so why?
Yeah, because it's so corporate. They test everything. They have all these audio. They have
But
these.
everyone has the same complaint, and that is this station plays the same songs all the
I'll
time.
tell you
It
why
makes me
they do
crazy.
that. They play the same songs over and over again because people listen for 5 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And when you get in your car and you have that 5 minutes, you want to hear one of those 30 songs. You're going to listen to a radio station that's playing one of those 30 songs. If we're not, we lose your business. That's why. So people who listen for a half hour, 45 minutes, that's extraordinary by radio terms. If you hear a song twice, that's crazy great for us, but it's 99% of people don't. So when they get in their car, they want to hear Sublime with Rome.
Yeah, Mike.
So that's why the repetition happens.
Catherwood Wood pointed that out to me. I didn't realize that. He said the average listener is like literally 10 minutes a week.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was
that's
like,
true.
wow, I listen to way too much radio. If I'm listening to like Opie and Anthony or Ron and Fez, I'm just listening for like
Right.
an hour. I'll drive to Vegas.
But that's
Should we
not
close
normal.
these? Let's close these real quick.
What kind of saw is that?
So when you guys do, all right, I'll speak from experience.
All right.
When I saw Acoustic Christmas a long time ago, I remember we all went to go see the Deftones. They had just come out with White Pony, and it was the greatest album. This is the White Pony album was the one where like you went for your max bench, listening to Minnie Maggot like back in school we are the losers, and you're like fuck it, 225 racket bitches.
What was your max?
235.
235.
When I weighed 170 or 168.
That's strong.
good. I was pretty strong for a while. Now I'm a rep guy, you know.
Sure.
I'm a rep guy. So I remember, I'm going to tell you my personal acoustic Christmas
Deftones.
story.
You're watching Deftones.
And me and Matt Frost, my buddy, went just to see the Deftones. We were so excited to see the Deftones. The Deftones came out, and they sucked so bad.
Really?
They were so drunk, and they were so out of tune, and they obviously had no idea what a sound check was or that rehearsal's important. The guys were out of tune. The lead singer was like actually punching people in the front row in the head, and they were they're reaching up to grab him.
Right.
And he's just screaming like a speed metal guy into the mic. And we looked at each other like, this is so horrible. This is one of the worst
depressing.
things. It's so depressing. They cut their set short and say goodnight. You guys had a spinning stage. The Deftones say goodnight, throw their mics at the audience. The stage spins, and it's that giant W in light bulbs that Weezer has, like
Yeah.
the Van Halen logo.
Yep.
And then right away, my name is Jonas. Boom, bam, I'm carrying the... And we're like, who? Never happened. Weezer just pulled us right out and
Yep.
crushed it so hard. And Weezer put on a clinic. And, like, at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit about Weezer. But that night, Weezer went really all the way to the wall to show me, let me show you how important crushing it live is. Because now, for the rest of my life, I'm like, you know what? Whatever you want to say about Weezer, if you go see him live, they won't let you down.
Right.
Deftones, ugh. I still got it in my iPod.
I've seen Deftones 4 or 5 times. They're not very good live.
That's why the Cars broke up.
They
I
just
think.
aren't.
There's just some bands that don't make it because they literally, the only reason they don't make it, I'm sure you'll attest to this, and it'd be more interesting if you expounded on it than if I did,
Probably not.
is they simply can't do it live.
Yeah.
And if you can't,
That's so depressing when you love a CD and you want to see that band and then you show up like you did and the Deftones just, it sucks.
I always heard the Cars, they just couldn't be interesting live. But then if you think about it, like, what's interesting about the Cars live in theory at all?
Yeah.
Who's gonna drive you home? Woo!
It's not exactly a party song. Best live
My
band.
best friend.
Best live band ever.
For me?
Yeah.
That I ever saw personally, or am
Yep.
I going to guess
No,
overall?
that you ever saw personally.
Not even close. Jane's Addiction. 1991 at the Ritz in New York City.
Jane's
They broke
Addiction's
up about 6 months after that show. They hated each other.
Yep.
There was such a sense of malevolence. They hated each other.
But they nailed it when they were on stage, right?
It was brutally, brutally beautiful. There was no backdrop. It was a black curtain. They all had their feet up on a riser or on the monitor, leaning towards the crowd. Like, the entire audience was surging forward, and Jane's Addiction was leaning into us. Like if you see a guy fighting against the wind walking up the street.
Right.
It was
Perry Farrell is a great frontman.
it was incredible, and he was doing all that work with like the pedals, and he would take his voice and put shit in an echo, like I want to be as deep as the ocean. He'd go, I want to be as, and he'd hit a pedal or a knob and go deep, 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 deep as the ocean. But as he's singing, it's going deep, deep for like a minute, and then he walks over to the board and goes deep, 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 and you're tripping balls, going, am I imagining this?
Yeah.
Or is he really manipulating his voice? It's bouncing off the walls and going through me.
But he's a weird dude.
Yeah,
I love him. I love him live.
He coaches Little League in the Palisades.
Does he really?
I never forget.
He
I was
coaches Little League.
bro, how do you think I felt? I was in the other coaching box and here, keep your eye on the ball, Tad. You're doing a great job. On the base, Eric Avery.
Nobody talks
Red Sol-
more effeminate than him.
Nobody.
How does he coach anyone through anything? How does he
Red
know
Solo
sports?
cup of red wine had just landed from Spain.
Yep.
I went up to him, introduced myself, and he goes, hey, it's good to see you. You used to sit behind me at Laker games. I'm like, man, I got to tell you. And I even said, the Ritz, 1991, greatest show I ever saw in my life. It just means a lot
Did he
to me,
remember
bro.
it?
No, probably not.
Probably
They do.
not.
I don't remember half the shows I do. I can't
Yeah.
imagine if you're how those guys got after it.
Rage Against the Machine for me.
That's what I heard.
They are. You've never seen them?
No.
Unbelievable. They're the band that you listen to the CD, you go, how could this be better? Then you go see them live, and they fucking tear your face off. It is great.
Hey, literally.
Literally. It really is way better than listening to the CD.
Where did you see him?
I've seen them 25 times.
What? ¿Qué pasó?
I have. I've seen them in Vegas. I've seen them here. I've traveled to see
Big and
them.
small.
Yeah, I went to when they played Lollapalooza in Chicago a couple of years ago. I went.
Now that's a big gig. That's the other thing too. Is like how it's amazing. Some bands, when you put them in a larger venue, it's not like I saw Kings of Leon open for U2, and in that giant half-full Staples.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
They
but-
can't fill it up.
The next night, Damian Marley, half-full Staples Center. For some reason, I'm like, fuck yeah. Welcome to Jam Rock. It was just all working. And it's I don't know. It's weird. Some bands, like small room, big room, you can
Yep.
pull off both.
Rage Against the Machine is that band.
They-
You
that's what
see
I'm
them,
asking.
and they had to stop Lollapalooza 3 times because everybody in the front was getting trampled. The band had to stop it, and Zach was like telling everybody, "Look, we want to keep singing, but you guys got to take it easy." It was awesome, and I was standing right on the side, and Tom Morello's mom was sitting on a chair, a little old lady sitting there rocking out.
Really?
Yeah, she's the best. She introduces them as the greatest fucking rock band in the world, and brings them out, and that's an experience.
I like Rage Against the Machine a lot.
You would love them if you saw them live.
I would. I want to see him live now. So,
Muse is my second favorite live.
Falling Down while 15,000 people scream. Is that Muse? Yeah.
I'm not positive.
I'll sing it to you off mic. I
Okay.
don't want to sing it on the podcast and have people berate me. That was ridiculous. It weird. It's like when you see a band hit it live, it to me, and it's how I've always approached stand-up comedy, like old school hip hop. When you got like KRS-One rapping about the battle, can you rock a party without rehearsing? Because I can plug it in and begin. Like at the end of the day, what's he say? You could be a pimp, hustler, or player, but make sure live you're a dope rhyme sayer. Because being dope live is like being insured for life. They're always going to come back twice. You have to hit it live. You have to.
Did you ever want to go see Deftones after that?
No, they were dead to me. It was because it was such a disrespect for the entire thing.
And I don't want to bad talk Deftones.
But it's a
Great band,
right?
not great live.
It wasn't here's why I was super offended, not to be douchey, but it was like, in hindsight, it was so disappointing and offensive because it wasn't like a stop on a giant tour where it's like, man, in Milwaukee, I just can't take it anymore. Fuck it. It's just a bad night. And you go, well, you know what? They've been on the road for 18. No, it's acoustic. It's one night.
Yeah.
It's just acoustic Christmas.
It may not be for them.
And it's a coming out party, though. It's
Yeah.
acoustic Christmas. It's kind of a big deal. Like Weezer now, when I listen to Weezer when I run, which has never been in my... I've never said a sentence before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I never would Weezer was always like, you're at a beach party in Malibu, we'll put on the Blue album, and, what's with these homies dissing my girl? But now when I listen to My Name is Jonas, this shit thunders through my Beats by Dre headphones,
Yep.
and I'm fucking trucking up to the beach. And the lyrics don't make any sense.
Right, ever.
It's nonsense.
Right.
But I can't get enough of it. Because I never forget Brian Bell just going bow, now, 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 like crushing that shit in.
It probably helped that Deftones were not so good before, so that when the stage turns and they come out, now all of a sudden they're fantastic. Do you think?
It didn't
In
hurt.
comparison?
It didn't hurt, but it was one of those performances that no matter where it was, no matter how it went down, it was the epitome of success. It was like being in a Mercedes. That's how a Cadillac goes. Turn the stage,
Yep.
and your brand new car. But Rage Against the Machine, I love, and now, especially since you've seen them 20 times, you and I have very similar tastes. But I do have a problem with guys yelling Jane's Addiction.
Me either.
And like, I keep saying No Doubt only because I know they're Long Beach, and like Sublime with Rome and all this stuff. Like, you play a little too much Coldplay. But that's not you. That's a program director.
It is, yeah.
There's a piece. Well, people don't understand listening.
There's a music director, too.
There's a piece of paper every day. Well, now it's a computer screen, and it's literally at 8:05 you're playing this.
Yes.
At 8, and then you're doing 3 songs, and then Jay Mohr comes in and you
Yep.
interview. I ain't got no mental ball. I'm like, yeah, dude, fucking K-Rock. Let's go to the beach. You're like, oh wait, it's snowing.
That's my boss, Kevin. He's probably 3 years younger than I am.
Really?
Yeah.
And he hasn't been your boss the whole time though.
He's been my boss for about 17 years. Yeah.
Program directors in radio are notoriously fucking
Yes.
apes
Yes.
that know nothing.
Yes.
And they make you play like, hey, no, this is Blake Shelton's brother. You him.
Yep.
And then there's these 6 songs in a row.
Well, no, on our show we play one song at a time. We play 4 songs an hour, one song at a time, and then we break and talk and play one song.
But what if you
When
just want
you're in, we drop songs because there's too much talking.
in a good way?
Yes. But then we always hear, hey, you dropped a song. Why? Well, we're running late. We have a clock that we're supposed to stick to, and we just never do.
What if you hold on a second.
Jay's trying to close.
Make sure you play this every 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have the other bacon and Frank Stallone. It's gonna be good. But for some reason, your 30 songs that you play constantly are songs that I like.
Not
And it
all
seems
of them.
like no, there's some I just don't. Because there's always new bands that I'm like, this is any new stuff to me. There's no way of going about it.
Right.
Except for like the Black Keys, I dig Mumford and Sons and stuff. But there's always like I don't mind hearing like.
Close the door so his alarm won't go off.
What if you, Kevin, just say, I like Bad Brains and I want to play Reignition by Bad Brains in the middle of the day? You can't.
I could, but
But you don't want to hear it at the end
No,
of
no,
the day.
no,
like
it's
the old
not.
Chris
Oh,
Rock joke. At the end of the
right.
day, we just don't want to hear it.
right. We could get away with it on our show more than the rest of the day parts, because we talk and we can say why we're